Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for this full body yoga practice. You're so very welcome. So, we'll get started seated today, sitting cross legged. You might like to sit up on a cushion or some yoga blocks to make yourself comfortable. And then you can rest your hands down on your knees. You can close your eyes down here, or maybe just simply soften your gaze instead. Roll your shoulders down your back. Feel your spine growing tall. Relax your eyes. Soften the muscles of your jaw. Take a moment here to feel your full awareness arrive into your body, onto your mat, and into the present moment here. Really feeling yourself landing onto your mat today. Let's begin with box breathing here. So this is a really grounding and calming type of breath work. You'll just inhale to the count of 4. Hold the inhale at the top for 4. Exhale to the count of 4. And then hold the exhale out at the bottom for 4. This will all be through the nose. You can close your eyes down here to begin, if that feels good. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. 2 more rounds here, counting for yourself. Once you're finished your second round, let's start to move. So we're going to come to a wide-legged child's pose. For this, you can bring your big toes to touch and your knees open wide as feels good to you. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Reach the arms ahead of you. Or option to stack the forearms one on top of the other, and then you could rest your forehead on your forearms. We'll be here in wide-legged child's pose for another 3 deep breaths, breathing deep all the way to the base of your spine. When you're ready, come up onto all fours, bringing your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Cat-cow. As you inhale, drop your belly towards the mat. Gaze forward, open into the heart space. Exhale, tuck your tailbone round the upper back, chin to chest. Inhale, your belly drops, tailbone lifts, gaze forward. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round the upper back, chin to chest. Once more. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Coming back to a neutral tabletop position. Let's tread the needle here. So as you inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, tread your left arm underneath your right arm, resting the left side of your shoulder and the left face on the ground, the left side of your face. Feeling a spinal twist here. Can you think of keeping the hips stacked above the knees? If the ground feels a little bit far away, you could always bring a block or a pillow or a cushion underneath your head here. And one more deep breath. Push into your right hand, rise up out of that, and let's go to the other side. So inhale, reach right arm up to the sky. Exhale, tread the right arm underneath your left, resting the right shoulder and the right side of your face on your mat. Left hand stays on the ground here. Can you keep your hips stacked above your knees? Two more breaths in spinal twist. Tread the needle. Pushing into your left hand, rise up out of this. Now from here, send the left leg back behind you. Plant your left foot into the mat so that the left foot is on the same line as your right knee. Your right shin might like to spin off a little bit on the diagonal so that your right foot is off the ground. Right hand is underneath your right shoulder. Reach left arm up to the sky. You can stick with this, or maybe you bring your left arm in line with your left ear with the left palm facing down for a big side body stretch in this side plank variation. Think of reaching the hips forward as you roll the left shoulder back. One more deep breath, reaching long through your left fingertips. And we'll do that on the other side. So the left hand comes down, left knee comes in. Extend right leg back so that the right foot is planting into the mat. Right foot is on the same line as your left knee. And your left shin might spin off to the side with your left foot on the ground. Left hand underneath your left shoulder. Reach right arm up to the sky. You can stay here. Maybe you bring the right arm in line with your right ear with your right palm facing down. Visualizing a big long line of energy from the right fingertips to the sole of the right foot. Send the hips forward, roll the right shoulder back. One more deep breath here. And then slowly returning to center, right hand down, right knee in. Puppy pose, Anahatasana. So for puppy pose, think of keeping your hips stacked above your knees. And then you start to walk your arms forward in front of you. The arms can go really far ahead, and your hands can be about shoulder width distance apart or perhaps a little bit wider. Then from here, you start to sink your chest and head towards the ground. Now you can bring something underneath the head and the chest to bring the floor closer. This could be blocks, cushions, bolsters, or maybe you rest your head and your chest on the ground. Another option is to stack the forearms one on top of the other. And then you could rest your head on your forearms here as well. Choose the variation that feels most nourishing in your body. And we'll be here for about another 4 deep breaths. When you're ready, rise out of puppy pose and then make your way down onto your belly. Sphinx pose. Option 1, stack the fists one on top of the other. You can rest your head down on your fists. Or perhaps you bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. You can interlace the hands or have the palms facing down. If you're in the second option, really roll the shoulders down your back as you gaze forward. Here for 4 deep breaths in Sphinx, opening into the heart center, into your chest. Relax your jaw. Soften your brows. Breathe deep. When you're ready, let your elbows open out to the side. Slowly lower down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Push up to tabletop, and we'll go back to a child's pose for a moment. So for this, the knees can be together or apart, whichever you prefer. Send your hips back towards your heels. Arms can reach in front of you. You could stack the forearms, or maybe you bring the arms back behind you with the palms faced up. 3 deep breaths here in child's pose. When you're ready, come onto your tabletop position so you can come to downward facing dog. Step the hands a little bit further forward in front of you. Your hands can be about shoulder width distance apart. Spread wide through all 10 fingers. Push down through your hands, fire the shoulders up as you tuck your toes under and pick your knees up. Sit your hips up and back to the sky. Think of really reaching the chest back towards your thighs as you elongate your spine, pushing down through your hands. You can have a bend through both knees if you'd like, or maybe you walk out your dog, bending through one knee, then straightening through the other. Gazes back to the feet. One more breath here in Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. And then when you're ready, make your way to the front of your mat. You can bend your knees to get there. We'll take a forward fold here. So for this first forward fold, take a deep bend through both knees. Allow your torso to release over your legs. Arms can hang heavy, or maybe you hold on to opposite elbows. The more you bend your knees, the more you focus into the lower back and the spine. One more deep breath here. If you have the hold on your elbows, you can release that with a bend in your knees in slow motion, rolling one vertebra at a time, all the ways up to standing. Your head is the last thing to arrive. Once you're here, let's step the left foot to the back of the mat. So you're stepping out wide. For Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, your feet are on the same line like they're on a balance beam. Left toes point towards the long edge of the mat. Right toes point to the top short edge of the mat. Deep bend into your right knee so that it stacks above your right ankle. Bring your arms parallel to the floor. Roll shoulders down your back and you can gaze over the right fingertips. Virabhadrasana 2. Rooting your feet down into your mat. Feel your legs strong. Take a moment to dial into your warrior energy. Feel your inner strength, your inner power, your determination and stamina. One more breath here. Straighten through the right leg, setting up for triangle. Maybe you'd like to shorten your stance a little bit by walking the back foot in, if the stance is quite wide. Think of shifting your hips to the back of your mat, then reach right arm forward. Rest your right arm anywhere on the leg that feels good. Think of really stacking the shoulders here as you reach the left fingertips up to the sky. Gaze can be down at the right foot, off to the side, or maybe up towards the left fingertips. Lean your back body against an imaginary wall behind you. 2 more breaths here in Trikonasana. Looking down, use your core to rise up. We'll do both of those on the other side. So now all you need to do is turn the right toes to point towards the long edge of the mat, left toes to the back of your mat. Deep bend into your left knee is stacking above your left ankle. Lift your arms parallel to the ground. Soften your shoulders down your back. Look over your left fingertips. Root and ground your feet into your mat. Breathe deep as you connect with your warrior energy here. Your inner strength, your inner power, your determination, your discipline. One more breath here. Beautiful. When you're ready, straighten through the left leg, triangle, Trikonasana. Shift your hips backwards. Reach left arm forward to tick-tock your arms to 6 and 12 o'clock. Let your left hand rest anywhere on the leg that feels good. Torso is facing off to the side, not down to the ground. If your torso is facing the ground, rise the hand up a little bit higher on that leg. Gaze can be off to the side, to the floor, or maybe to the right fingertips. One more deep breath here in triangle. Beautiful. Use your core to rise up. Now I'll turn all 10 toes to point forward for wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips as you fold forward. You can rest your hands anywhere on the mat that feels right to you. Maybe you walk the hands in between the feet. If there's any pain behind the knees, take a deep bend through your knees. And then see what it feels like to bring the weight a little bit more into the toes rather than your heels. Prasarita Padottanasana. 3 more breaths. Rise up to a halfway lift for a moment. Torso is parallel to the floor. And then use your core to lift back up. And we'll step up to the top of the mat. Yogi squat malasana. Your feet can open quite wide. And the toes point out slightly on the diagonal. Bend into your knees. You could interlace your hands and rest your elbows onto your thighs, staying here. Or perhaps you sink the hips down a little bit lower. If your heels come up off the mat, know that that is super normal, and you can always have your hands on the ground to support you. Or you can bring something underneath the heels. So this could be like a cushion, yoga blocks, or a rolled up blanket. Hands can stay on the ground. Or perhaps you bring your hands to prayer, pushing your knees into your elbows and your elbows into your knees, nice and gently. Let's pause here in yogi squat for another 4 deep breaths. Wonderful. When you're ready, take your time to come to lie on your back. No rush to get there. Making your way down. And here we'll take bridge pose. So bend the knees, plant your feet into your mat, about hips width distance apart. Arms down beside you with the palms face down. Push into your heels as you squeeze your glutes and send them up to the sky. Reach the hips towards the ceiling. You can also push down through the shoulders here, through the hands. Maybe you even hold on to the outsides of your mat. As you reach the hips to the sky, think of reaching the knees long and your chest towards your chin. Two more deep breaths here. And then gently release the hips back down to the ground. Slowly extending the right leg long. Bring your left knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers around your left knee. Breathing deep for one more breath. Taking it into a twist, reach the left arm out beside you to a T. Use your right hand to guide your left knee across your body. Single-legged twist. Keep the left shoulder gluing into the floor. You can look up at the ceiling or perhaps over your left fingertips if that feels good for your neck. Another 2 deep belly breaths here. And then slowly return to center. Other side. Extend your left leg long. Bring your right knee into your chest. Interlace your hands around your right knee, gently guiding the right knee towards your chest here. One more breath. Let's turn it into a twist. So right arm comes out to a T beside you. If you don't have room, like me, you can take a bend in the elbow. Use your left hand to guide your right knee across your body. Right shoulder is firmly gluing into the ground. You can look up at the sky or maybe over towards the right fingertips. Spinal twist. Also feeling a stretch, of course, into the outer right hip. 2 more belly breaths here. Beautiful. Slowly return to center. Shavasana. Final relaxation. So take your time here to really find a position that feels restful. This could be lying on the back with the legs and the arms out wide. You could keep a bend in your knees, planting your feet into the mat, walk them away from each other and let your knees gently soften together. You could also roll onto the side and use your left arm as a pillow. So really find that place that feels super restful for you today. Once you've found it, you can close your eyes down or simply soften your gaze. Allow yourself to let go of all effort here. Bringing a sense of softening and surrendering into your body. Really allow yourself to release into the support of the earth beneath you. We'll be here in Shavasana for a few more moments in silence. All that's left to do here is simply rest. And I'll call you back soon with the sound of my voice. When you're ready, starting to deepen your breath and make some gentle movement that feels good. Maybe wiggle fingers and toes, roll out your wrists and your ankles, or perhaps you take a big stretch, reaching your hands and your feet away from each other. And then gently bring your knees into your chest and take your time to make your way up to seated. There's no rush, and we'll close the practice here together. In a cross-legged position once you're ready. When you're ready, inhale, reach arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer at the heart. You can close down the eyes. And we'll close this practice today by chanting the sacred sound of the universe, Om, followed by Shanti, which means peace, 3 times. Beginning with an inhale here. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bowing your head to your heart. And when you're ready, slowly arrive back into your space. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I really hope that you enjoyed that practice. If you have time, I would really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I'd love to hear as well how you found the practice in the comments below. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.